Albert Einstein once said, if I had an hour to solve a problem and my life depended on it, I would use the first 55 minutes determining the proper question to ask. You must understand and realize that most of our internal thoughts throughout the day are asking and answering questions. You literally had to ask yourself just now if that statement was true or not. What we choose to believe affects our decisions, actions, the direction our lives are heading, and therefore our ultimate destiny. Often the answers to our problems are there, but we don't ask the right questions to uncover them. Instead, we ask useless, negative, and disempowering questions like, why am I not smart or good enough? Or why can't I lose weight, find the right person, or discover my passion? When we continuously ask negative, disempowering questions like those, we then look for an answer that will give us evidence to make these beliefs true. But these are only beliefs we have created from past experiences or that some outside source told us, like a teacher, coach, family member, or even the media, that we chose to believe. Tony Robbins writes in his best-selling book, Awaken the Giant Within, if we want to change the quality of our lives, we should change our habitual questions. These questions direct our focus and therefore how we think and feel. The only difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person is the questions they consistently ask themselves. That might sound ridiculous or too simple to be true, but if you watch until the end, I will share real-life examples of how the questions we ask ourselves impact our fitness, finances, happiness, and much more. When it comes to weight loss and eating healthier foods, I believe we overcomplicate it by asking the wrong questions and then accepting the wrong answers to those questions. It's not that you can't lose weight or your metabolism is too slow or you were born with the wrong genetics, as these are just beliefs. Rather, your current plan around exercise and evaluating what you eat is not supporting you. When we ask questions like, what would make me the most full? Or what's the sweetest, richest food I can get away with? We go and find foods filled with sugars and fats that only make us crave and want more once we eat them. What if instead we asked, what is something light that I can eat that would give me energy? What would nourish me right now? Or will this make me tired and sluggish or energize me? These questions also give you the answer to having more energy, which can be put towards exercising. I used to struggle with binge eating and found the questions I would always ask after going on these absurd binges and feeling horrible afterward was, why do I always do this? Or why am I always so hungry? Then I would come up with answers like, I'm not meant to lose weight, or my appetite is too big to have my dream body. And then I would proceed to find evidence to back up these beliefs. But once I changed my habitual question to, how can I suppress my appetite in a simple, healthy way, I came up with the answers that ended these binges, like drinking more water, chewing my food slower, eating more whole foods that are low in calories but will fill me up, and not eating foods with sugar or carbs early in the day, as this just made me crave them more. Remember, the pattern of questions you consistently ask will either tear you down or move you closer to your goals. If we want to change our finances, we need to hold ourselves to higher standards, change our beliefs about what's possible, and develop a better strategy. How do we do this? By asking better questions and finding better answers. For this example around finances, let's take two people, Jake and CJ, both 23 years old, working at the same job, and making the same amount of money. Jake's habitual question around money might be, what cool toys can I buy with my next paycheck? With this question, he's now spending all his free time searching for the answers to this question. While CJ's habitual question is, what can I invest my next paycheck in? Spending his free time learning and looking at possible future investments that will make him wealthier and financially free in the future. Who do you think will be more successful 5, 10, 20 years from now if they keep asking themselves these same questions? This is a simple example, but you can see how drastically your finances would change if you switched from the first question to the second question. If we ask questions like, why don't I ever have enough money? Why can't I make more money? Or why can't I be rich? We will find the answers and evidence to support those questions. But if we ask questions like, how can I make more money? How can I start my own business? Or how can I save enough money to make an investment? You will begin creating a strategy and a plan to discover those answers. The only difference between someone making $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, and $100,000 a month is the quality of questions they ask themselves around finances. This means we all have the ability to make more money if we choose, by asking better questions and searching for the answers to those questions. None of us were born unlucky or destined to be poor, as that is just a belief, and a belief we have the power to change. Some people are depressed on a regular basis because of a limited state. I used to be one of them. The reason why is because when we conduct our lives with limited movements, poor physiology, and focus on things that make us feel overwhelmed and worthless, how can you not be depressed? Just by changing your mental focus, you can instantly change how you feel simply by asking a new question. When you are depressed, it's more likely due to asking disempowering questions like, what's the use, why me, or why even try since things never work out anyway. If you keep asking questions like, how come I'm so depressed, or why doesn't anybody like me, you will focus on, look for, and find references to back up the idea that there's a reason you feel depressed and unloved. Remember the saying, ask and you shall receive. If we ask terrible questions, we'll get terrible answers. Instead of looking at what you don't have, ask yourself, what do I still have? The answer might be youth and good health, which would mean you still have time to turn things around. Or you might say passion for your career, music, learning, or whatever it is you are passionate about. Tony Robbins writes, our pattern of focus limits our emotional experiences of life. Our brain is ready to serve us, and whatever questions we give it, it will come up with an answer. When we ask, why can't I be happy? It might come up with, because this thing happened to me in the past, or you don't deserve to be happy. What if instead we started asking, what am I happy about right now? Or what could I be happy about if I wanted to be? If we keep asking questions like this, we will come up with real answers that will make you focus on reasons that do exist for you to feel happy. Even if your brain initially responds, there's nothing I can do, but if you can persist, you will eventually get the answers you need to turn things around. Remember, to change, we must learn to change our focus by asking the right questions. These questions will either give you the answers you need to improve your life or continue to break you down. To finish this video, I will show you how to start changing the questions you ask yourself. To get to the bottom of how we create our reality on a daily basis, we need to answer the question, how do I think? Tony Robbins writes, at any moment, the questions we ask ourselves can shape our perception of who we are, what we are capable of, and what we are willing to do to achieve our dreams. Learning to control the questions you ask yourself consciously will further help you achieve your goals than almost anything else. The problem is that most of us are on autopilot all the time, and by failing to control the habitual questions we ask consciously, we severely limit ourselves. The first step is becoming aware of what you want and discovering your old limiting patterns. You can do this by creating a new empowering set of questions, and then condition them by rehearsing them until they become part of your life. Ask yourself, if I don't change this, what is the ultimate price I will pay? What will this cost me in the long run? Or how will my whole life be transformed if I do this now? Interrupt the old patterns with these questions. Learning to ask these questions consistently in the moment of crisis will pull you through some of the most challenging times. Neuroplasticity says that your brain will begin to rewire every time you answer a question and do a new activity. If you prep your mind with the right questions, you will find answers to any area you want to improve in your life. Robbins also writes, your brain is like a genie and will give you whatever you ask of it. So be careful what you ask for, because whatever you look for, you will find. Another step is questioning your limitations and beliefs. Testing our boundaries is what tears down the walls in life that are blocking us from moving forward. As our beliefs cause blind spots, affecting the questions we'll even consider to ask ourselves. Some people will never ask the question, how can I turn things around? Simply because everyone around them has told them it's impossible, leading to believe it's a waste of time and energy. You must be careful not to ask limited questions or you will receive limited answers. Now it's time to take action by deciding what is most important to you at this very moment and follow through asking the powerful questions that will move you forward. So let me ask you one final question. If there was one action that you could take immediately to instantly change the quality of your life right now, what would it be? If you found this video helpful, please make sure to hit the like button below and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. If you would like to learn more about this topic, I highly recommend getting a copy of Tony Robbins' book, Awaken the Giant Within, as it's one of the most powerful and impactful books I've read so far. You can find a link to the book in the description below. By using the link, you will also help support this channel so I can continue bringing you free videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you next time, my friend.